Tarkov is not an easy game to learn, play, or even experience in 2025. New players in this game feel like a dime a dozen these days, but to my surprise, I tend to see a lot of new players asking questions on the subreddit, trying to figure out the basic mechanics, why certain things about the game do or don't work, and to their credit, most of them are leaps and bounds ahead of where I was when I started playing. But even veterans of the game, people who have put thousands of hours into it, we all still run into problems and circumstances that are out of our direct control. And as annoying, frustrating, mauled-inducing it can be to play this game and ask almost 8 years into development if it will get ever better, there is one silver lining to those of us that still play the game and find some levels of enjoyment out of it. If something happens to you in or out of raid, just know that you are not alone. We have all dealt with the BS that BSG puts us through from time to time, and I can't speak for anyone else other than myself, but there is a certain level of comfort in knowing that all of these issues, bugs, glitches, crashes, and the like are experienced by the community at large. As much as we would all love to not ever have to deal with them, this is the reality we're currently in. So the next time you get upset at Tarkov for doing everything you don't want it to do, just know that we all go through the same thing together at one point or another. I figured it would be interesting to go over some circumstances in the game that had the community calling them at one point getting Tarkoved, and allowing people to hopefully share their experiences with each other so we can all collectively laugh at how ridiculous this game can be sometimes. One of the major problem points that many have felt throughout their experiences is dying with critical quest or hideout items on them. Nothing hurts more than finally finding that found in raid LEDX for either private clinic or for your level 3 med station, only to die to some stupid AI scav who 361 taps you with buckshot. We have all been there at least once, maybe not with a LEDX, but other items that, in the moment, were highly important to us. What makes these circumstances an even tougher pill to swallow is that you have no idea the next time you will find an item like that again. A quest item that spawns in the same place every time is one thing, but when it could be found in any duffel bag, any medical crate, or just an AI scav walking around, it's hard not to feel discouraged when it doesn't go your way. If there is one element to EFT that I personally wish the game respected more of, it's the player's time. Nothing feels worse in this game, or anything in life really, than having your time wasted. I've said this before, but it's the ultimate form of disrespect a game can instill upon its player base. You can spend sometimes upwards of 10 plus minutes building a kit and then load into a raid, and within the first 30 seconds, you can die, lose that kit, and have to start all over again. I do understand that it is the natural cycle of the game, and it will happen, but my god is it not infuriating when it happens 2, 3, or even 4 times in a row. And while having the game rob you of your time wasn't bad enough, sometimes the game will literally rob you of items, quest completion, and progression. Tarkov has a reputation for how bad the error codes and glitches in the game can be when just moving items in your stash. Go too fast and the game will throw up the dreaded error 228, causing all your items to reset to potentially minutes previous. It is probably one of the most infuriating errors to get in the game, especially when you're trying to either organize your stash or trying to do something like gunsmith and need to build a weapon. But then the preset menu doesn't work for some reason, which throws up another error code, and you need to rebuild your weapon again from scratch. It's utterly annoying, but something I would imagine a majority of the player base has felt the sting of at least a couple times in their experience. In-raid bugs and glitches happen all the time too. Having your hands busy, being unable to heal or stop healing, stuff like this gets in the way of having proper raids and can make people vehemently swear off the game because it's bad enough this stuff happens outside of raid. The last place it should ever occur is while you're in raid. But since it's EFT we're talking about, it's more so a matter of when and not if. Honestly, if I had to choose between the game stealing items from me or wasting my time, I'd rather have the game at least respect the time I put into it, less loading, more succinct gameplay, and just overall easier times navigating the menus across all the elements where the game uses them. Items are just that. Items. It's okay if they're lost every once in a while. It shouldn't happen, but they're just pixels at the end of the day. So if the game eats my gun or something falls through the map every once in a while, so be it. At least my time is still my own, until EFT finds a way to steal that too, or even something as simple as your scavs spawning with no gear on them. This has happened to me twice personally, and I still see screenshots of it online happening to other people. Again, it's kind of a funny haha meme, but it's also like, how is this happening? Why is this happening? Stuff like this shouldn't ever occur, and yet here we are in 2025 with new bugs still baffling players to this day. When bad things happen in Tarkov, whether it's you simply dying because you got legitimately outplayed by another player, the game being stupid, or anything in between, it can feel like a lonely experience. Even if you're playing with friends or people you met in a collective Discord, nothing sucks more than when you're experiencing a bug and you ask the other people if it's happening to them, and they all reply, "No, my game's working fine." That can immediately instill this sense of loneliness, or this idea that you specifically did something wrong to deserve the game working incorrectly. And this feeling is only magnified when you play solo. You have no one to immediately bounce off of to try and find a solution. So it can feel like this downward spiral of, why is the game attacking me? What did I do wrong? And while those feelings are totally understandable, I imagine a lot of us have had that thought process at least once. In those moments, there are two things you need to know. First, if that is happening on a regular basis, just take a damn break from EFT. If you can't sit down and enjoy the game for the time you have allotted for it, perhaps it isn't worth playing at the moment and getting upset when the game screws you over time and time again. And two, however you may be feeling when the BS shows its ugly head, everyone, and I mean everyone that plays this game, has gone through the same thing you are. As much as this community can feel like it's fighting not just against the developers to make it amazing, but within ourselves as well, one thing we have in common is putting up with the crap the game throws at us, taking it on the chin, and just moving past it. There is a sense of camaraderie in that, knowing that this stupid bug has most likely been felt by so many other players makes those unfortunate experiences all the less painful. It's an opportunity to share in the misery because, after all, it does love company. And maybe I'm the only one that has this mentality, but it always does make me laugh a little when I see what other people have to put up with. It makes me reflect and go, oh, that's what's happening to you? I guess I should be thankful it isn't worse for myself. Now, that's not an excuse to say these things are allowed or should be happening. No, not at all. BSG needs to clean this damn game up so that it runs well and doesn't have the game-breaking bugs across all the social platforms people use to talk about it. But again, just knowing that others are going through the struggles too gives me a sense of comfort that makes it all the more bearable. So just know, you are not alone in this endeavor. Everyone who plays EFT puts up with it too. So hopefully there is some sense of solace in having that knowledge. Tarkov is a difficult game that provides an insane love-hate relationship with it. One moment it's the best thing you've ever played, and you've never had this much dopamine running through you, and the next moment, it's the worst POS game and I'm uninstalling it and never playing it again. It's nothing but a roller coaster with all the bugs, glitches, crashes, items stolen, and the loneliness that can come from playing this game and dealing with what it throws at you. But at the end of the day, understand that if this game has you tilted beyond repair, crashing out left and right, just know you are not the only one. Lots of us go through the same ups and downs you are currently experiencing, and hopefully that information is enough to just keep you going. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts on the sense of unity that comes from everyone putting up with the BS of BSG, what kinds of experiences you've had that would fit into this conversation, and be sure to subscribe for more videos about the worst of the worst happening to pretty much everyone who plays this game because it's unavoidable at this point. I hope to see you in future ones.